Welcome to the world of Omicron Protocol. This is Bernie,
I'm Brendan.
and we're here to walk you through the basic rules of the game. You can follow along with the quick start guide. We will try to follow that, but we won't do it exactly like how the book explains it. But if you learn better with video, this should help you. So first, I am playing the Survivalist, and I have the Learn to Play cards for Seeker and Thug here.
And I'm playing the Peacemakers, so I have Pie here, and I have Buck right here.
All right, first we're just going to walk through the stats on each card really quickly, and then we will show an example similar to the quick start guide so that you can see how it's used. Let's look at Thug here. The first stat is Walk. Every time it is your character's activation, you get to do the first number of hexes movement for free. So Thug is 3. You go 1, 2, 3. He could just go 1, 2. He could circle around 1, 2, 3, however you like. If you spend one of your action points, which there are 5 for 2 characters that you spend as a team, you may boost it by 3 more. So then he could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for example. Next stat is Attack. So Attack is the number of 6-sided dice you get to roll. And you will start with looking at what the dex of the person you're attacking is. So first I will ask Pie, what is your dex?
Pie's dex is 3.
All right, I will roll 6 dice, and I will go which ones are 3 or higher. And anything that's 3 or higher is a hit. Anything that's not is a miss. We'll talk about how to use the hits in the action store when we actually do the example. The next stat you see is the luck value. Any die that is 5 or higher, so in this case the 6, if I don't use it in the action store, I may trade it in 1 for 1 for a luck token, and then it gets stored with Thug. Later on, for example, I rolled really poorly here and I just needed 2 more 3s. I may spend a luck token to bump a die up by 1. I could spend it on multiple dice, or I could spend it both on 1 die to move it up to 4, for example. And finally, hit points. That matches the number of dots on the bottom. Whenever you take damage from someone, you will start marking it, and when you go to 0, you are knocked out. We will not talk about knockout in the quick start guide, but that is how you score points in the actual game. And then the 8 matches the white dot here on the hit point bar. That is if you ever try to do first aid on yourself, or when you come back from a knockout, you will heal up to that white dot. You never heal above it. With that, we will start the example. So I believe let's start with Peacemakers first.
Sure. Let's see here. I'm going to activate Pie. She's got a pretty good ranged attack, so from where I'm standing right here, I can go ahead and roll dice and attack Thug. But I kind of want to move a little bit, so she's got a walk of 4 and then a +2. I'm just going to go a few paces here, and then I'm going to make a ranged attack on Thug. Pie rolls 4 dice, so I'm going to take these 4, that's her attack, and I'm going to roll them. Dex is what?
My dex is 2, but am I in your range?
Let's see here. So, that's a good question. You'll see there are 2 weapon profiles on Pie's card here. She's got fists, which have a range of 1 to 1, which means you have to be right up next to someone. So, because I'm in fact at range 2 to 6, that's her ranged weapon. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm able to shoot at Thug. But if I was back here, I'd be out of range. So, she'll make a ranged attack by rolling these 4 dice. And I'm looking at 2s or better, so only 1s are misses. And there's a miss, so I've got my 3 hits right here. Let's see. Now I'm going to look at my action store here, and this determines what I need to spend in hits to do the corresponding damage. In this case, I can see here the number in the white reticule is the number of hits required to do the corresponding damage. So if I spent 1 of my hits, I could do 1 damage. With another hit, so if I'm spending 2, I can do 2 damage. If I wanted to do more damage, 3, I would need to spend 4 successful hits. Because I only have 3, I can't do that. So I'm going to spend these 2 hits to do 2 damage on Thug.
All right, and Thug takes 2 damage, so I mark the rightmost 2, and now Thug is at 14 hit points.
Now I've got this 5 left over, and looking at Pi's luck stat, that means I can exchange this 5 for 1 luck token. So I'll add that to my collection. I can't go above 7, but I'm at no risk of that now. So yeah, with that, I'll hand it back over to Bernie.
All right. Oh, one thing we forgot to mention, to make that attack, you should have spent an action point.
Yes, I'm in debt.
There's an action point.
All right.
And actually, I'll give you these 5. All right. Each team has their own 5 action points. One thing I do want to point out is if Pi tried to shoot Seeker, for example, and you might be wondering what this right side of the card, there's active abilities and passive abilities, which we're going to talk about next. Passive abilities are always on, and you can see on Seeker's Learn to Play card, there is a hidden. That means attacks targeting abilities can only target this model from within 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3. Since Seeker is at 4, she is hidden from Pi, and Pi actually cannot do a ranged attack on her. So it was smart for Pi to attack Thug.
Now, if I had decided instead to move to there with my move, I could have done that, but instead I chose this spot. Maybe I wanted to ride a bike.
Yeah. All right. Now it goes back. It alternates activation. So peacemakers choose 1 person to use, Pi. Now it's survivalists. I will pick 1 person to activate. I'm going to activate Thug. Well, Thug is not happy being shot at, so he is going to use his walk. Pi was foolish to get that close to him, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3. That's free. In the rule book, you'll see making Thug charge. That's if you have to move past his 3 range. So in this case, I'm going to just save that action point and spend an action point to make an attack. You notice Thug only has range 1/1 weapon with Rusty, the steel pipe he has. He actually doesn't have range, so he has to get close, and I'm going to roll 6 dice because my attack is 6. What is your dex, Pi, again?
It is 3.
All right, I'm going to roll 3s and higher. Ooh, nice. 5 hits and 1 miss. So again, looking at action store, I get choose anywhere up to 3 damage with 4 hits. I don't have 6 hits, so I can't get to 4 damage. I have a few options. If I wanted to spend 6 to do 4 damage, I could spend the luck token I have, bump that up to 3, and now I have 6 hits. I'm going to do 4 damage to Pi.
Wow.
This is a little different than the quick start guide, but just kind of give you an idea of how you could choose different results other than the ones in the book. With that, I would say we're going to do another activation to show active abilities.
All right. So Pi is going to move up, and she's going to try to shift Thug out of the way a little bit. The range on this ability is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she does need to move into range to activate that ability. So she'll go there. But what I want to do here is force Thug to move a little bit further. I would rather take the damage, and I'm going to push him out of the way so that he can't touch Thug here. So with that, I'm going to spend 1 of my AP to activate Shift. Shift 1, I may move another model 1 hex. So I'm going to move Thug back there. And let's say, I kind of started that off wrong, but let's say if I moved here instead. So now I've done that, and if I spend another AP to do it again, I've successfully moved Thug to a place where he can't, even running at his fastest speed, using his boosted walk action, he won't be able to get to Thug.
Buck?
Or Buck, sorry.
Yeah. So Buck right here.
Yes, Buck. That's Thug, this is Buck.
Okay. Okay, so Thug can no longer target Buck, but Thug can go after Pi. So earlier, you might be wondering, Quick Start Guy says, use charge. I'm going to show you how using charge works. Charge is a combination of a boosted walk and an attack for just 1 action point. Very economical. So you get to go up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll stop here just so I could get to Buck maybe later. I could still make an attack, all for 1 AP, but I'd lose 2 dice from my normal attack. So I would only roll 4 dice. And I do remember Pi's dex is 3. So I'm going to roll, 6, 6, 6, 4. Okay, I'm going to show you other things that I could do in my action store. Instead of damage, I could have two abilities. One is shift 1. That's just like Pi's shift. I could shift her away. Or I could choose hyper aware, which costs me 3 of my hits. So I could spend 3 of the hits and turn on hyper aware. As you see on the card, I gain 1 more dex, so now I'm harder to hit. You need 3s or higher to hit. And if the non-friendly model moves its movement within 2 hexes of me, I may immediately perform sidestep 2. That means I may immediately move up to 2 hexes any direction I want. So that's a pretty good ability. And if you are playing the game includes these tokens that have the name of these abilities you can put next to the model. So I will spend that, and like earlier, I have a 6. I'm going to spend that. I'm not spend it. I'm going to use it to get 1 more luck token. And that is the end of Thug's activation. So with these 2 examples, you pretty much have learned everything about the Quick Start Guide, which is the stats, the movement, how to do the attacks, how to do the active abilities, and even how passive abilities work. In the next video, we are going to talk about the Sims and EM noise. So stay tuned.